Sorry, developers, but your job just died. This is not a clickbaity video. This is the reality. Because if you haven't tried yet tools like Klein, Cursor, and Copilot, you don't know what you're missing. Even if you are not a developer, even your grandma, now you can develop any application, any piece of software, any website by just prompting the AI to build whatever you want to build. The new coding language is plain English. You just prompt the AI saying, I want to build a website or a tool with XYZ with these features, and press enter. In a few minutes, you have the tool that you need. Now, some people, including some developers, friends of mine, some of them are very, very impressed with Klein, and they recognize that Klein, Cursor, and so on might replace their jobs. Others are saying, oh no, because these AI coding assistants, they can't develop 50,000, 100,000 lines of code. And that's true. But now they can already develop thousands and thousands of lines of code, maybe not 50,000, but they can already develop applications with thousands of lines of code, 100% AI based, 100% AI coded, okay? I didn't code a single line of code. And, I'm not a developer, but I've been a project manager for many years. I always dealt with dozens of developers, and I've been an entrepreneur for many years. And if you are an entrepreneur now, you can develop any application with AI. So no developers needed, and things are really shifting. Let me give you an example. Levels.io, Peter Levels, he developed a game, a flight simulator, in 3 hours. Okay, 3 hours. And 3 weeks later, this flight simulator was generating $67,000. And he used nothing but AI to develop it. And he keeps improving the game. Every day he receives feedback from the users, and he goes back to the AI and says, oh, can you make the airplane more this or that? Can you increase this feature in the game? And the AI is just doing it. This is what's called vibe coding. And AI coding assistants are now better than any developer. In fact, if you look at the benchmarks, AI coding assistants can do better than a developer. Of course, if you want to develop something that is very complex, and like an AI is not going to replace a team of 50 developers, okay? Facebook, Meta, big tech companies, they're not going to suddenly replace most of their developers with AI. But there is a ton of companies who are already firing their developers. These AI coding agents are faster, more accurate, and they don't require a six-figure salary. And what happens when anyone can build a profitable application in hours without knowing any code? Because if you now have a small business or you are an entrepreneur, you don't need to hire a developer. You can just learn how to use Klein. Actually, I have created the first Klein course ever. You can check the course in the description of the video, the voucher, where I show how to code with these AI tools and how you can develop in a few minutes pretty much any application. So at the moment, AIs can achieve a perfect score in coding benchmarks. You have this coding benchmark. It's basically a test for AIs, like asking coding questions. This Human Evolve, and Claude 3.5 was already scoring a 100% score in this benchmark, which contains 164 very hard coding questions, okay? And after Claude 3.5, you already have Claude 3.7, which is even better than Claude 3.5. And these AI models are getting 100 times faster and better every year, okay? So even if now you say, oh no, AI is not yet capable of developing 50,000 lines of code, not yet, because like 1 year ago, these AI coding models 1 or 2 years ago could barely develop 1,000 lines of code, and now it's easy like this. So maybe in 1 year from now, they can develop like 50,000 lines of code. And if you, instead of buying Microsoft Office or buying software that is expensive, you just ask your AI, hey, can you do like a copy of Microsoft Office? Can you do a copy of this game? Can you do this? Can you do that? Can you do a copy of this CRM system? Whatever is the software that you want to create, you just ask the AI. This is where we are heading. This is the future, and the future is coming very, very fast. Also, AI models are already surpassing human PhDs. You have this GPQA benchmark that is showing that already a bunch of AI models from DeepSeek o1 and also now Claude 3.7 are already surpassing human PhDs in any field, okay? You might have one human PhD that is better than AI, in one specific field, but you don't have a single PhD that is good in every field, right? You don't have a PhD that is good in philosophy and chemistry and physics and pharmacy and medical and all this stuff at the same time, right? But now AIs are better than humans in every single field at the same time. This is very impressive. And this is why I believe that AGI, artificial general intelligence, is coming very fast and very soon. Because what's AGI, artificial general intelligence? Well, it's being very smart, very intelligent in any field. And this is kind of what we already start having, right? And of course, AIs are not achieving this intelligence the same way a human's brains achieve, right? But they are faster, they are more scalable, they are evolving really, really fast. And it's the same. I like to compare it like birds and airplanes. You know, imagine 100 years ago, people are saying, "Oh, those airplanes is not really flying because airplanes are not flapping their wings." Okay, is the same as now people saying that, "Oh, AI is not really intelligent because it's not using the same brain processes that we use." Well, does that matter? Okay, now airplanes that we have nowadays fly better and faster than most birds, right? And we are not saying, oh, but that's not really flying. It's flying, it flies well, it achieves its goal, which is flying and bringing people from point A to point B. And the same is happening with AI, right? Okay, but going back to coding, the trend that we have now is vibe coding. Vibe coding is basically asking the AI in plain English, and the AI will transform your ideas into reality. It's really mind blowing. If you haven't tried Klein, I really want you to try Klein, Cursor, Copilot, because it's mind blowing. And even if you don't have any coding experience, you can try it. Check my other videos because I made already some videos showing tutorials on how to use Klein, for example. And do you remember like 10 years ago, these hackathons, which will be like 2 full days where people don't sleep, just coding 24 hours. And now you literally achieve the same in 10 minutes, 10 minutes of vibe coding with AI, and you have a production ready application, which is really cool. So at the moment, creativity is more important than coding, okay? You can give wings to your creativity very easily without needing to pay to a developer or without having to study coding for 1 year, right? You can focus entirely on the creative aspect of your project. You just vibe with your AI. You just ask it, build this, build that, add this feature, make it more to the left, to the right, make it different color, and so on. And the AI will develop for you. So no more boring code. AI will take care of it. You just need to be creative, more creative than other people in order to succeed. And again, even your grandmother can now build sophisticated software. It's crazy, right? Because like you could not ask your grandma a couple of years ago to build a website. Forget, doesn't happen. Now you can ask literally because she can just ask the AI, oh, build a website with baking recipes, with my top 10 baking recipes. And it will build. It's very simple, right? Now, I understand that many of you, especially if you are a developer, you might still have a lot of resistance and not believing that AI will replace most developers. But let me share this with you. You know, in software, everything follows the path of least resistance, right? People prefer simple languages like Python over complex languages like C++. People prefer AWS Cloud or Google Cloud and one-click scaling instead of choosing on-prem servers, right? You always prefer what's simpler, what's easier. You prefer to reuse open source code over having to write everything from scratch, right? You prefer the Visual Studio autocomplete over 100% manual coding. So the trend is always to simplify and always to adopt the path of least resistance. And we are going to see the same with AI. Even there are some people that have some resistance to adopt AI for coding. This is going to be the norm 100% in 1 or 2 years from now. Even Dario Amodei, the Anthropic CEO, said that within 6 months, AI will be writing 90% of the codes. And then in 12 months, we will be in a world where AI is writing essentially all of the code. Okay, this is Dario Amodei, Anthropic CEO, one of the biggest AI experts in the world. It's not only me saying, okay, just look at the trends, look at how good these AIs are getting. And refusing to use AI is like refusing to use email because you still want to do the handwritten letters. You can sometimes do the handwritten letters and going to the post office and send it. It's very, very nice if people still do it. but 99% of the correspondence is done via email, not via handwritten letters, right? And this is the same with AI. If you want to keep coding, you can keep coding, but please don't overlook the AI. Now developers need to evolve into more like AI curators. You need to move to the creative side to architect applications rather than just hardcore coding, right? Or project manage your AI agents to develop, right? Instead of coding directly, you can have an army of AI agents coding for you, and you supervise these AI agents. You have the creative process for you. And let's face it, creativity is what makes humans humans, right? You don't want to be a robot coding stuff that an AI can code. If you can dedicate time to creativity, that's even better, right? So the hard reality is that if you are still writing code, you are wasting your time. Really learn about AI. If you are hiring traditional developers, you are throwing money away. You can hire way less developers. And if you are learning conventional coding, you are preparing to a job that no longer exists. You no longer need to be a junior developer. AI can be the junior developer, okay? Now, the question isn't whether you will be replaced, is whether you'll be smart enough to ride the wave or stubborn enough to drown in this wave. Because remember, the AI will not replace you, but someone using the AI will replace you. So you need to learn about this stuff. You need to stay on top. That's why I'm always talking about AI and always investing in AI stocks and investing in AI cryptos. And people in my Billy Metalist community really know what's happening, and they are on the top of the latest technologies. They are investing, they are learning, and you just need to be on the top 5% of people that know how to use AI. Okay, you don't need to be an AI expert. You just need to know how to use AI tools and to be on the top of it. Because soon, not knowing how to use AI tools is pretty much the same as not knowing how to use a computer. So invest in your knowledge. And if you enjoyed this video, give it a like and subscribe so that you don't miss the next one. Say Billy Limitless, and I'll see you on the next video.